Hi students, I know that you are about to embark on an epic journey of your own, creating an awesome presentation and retelling of a story, the Epic of Gilgamesh. So I thought I would start by showing you a story that we all love and give you an example of what this might look like. So the story, The Wizard of Oz, even if you aren't familiar with it, you can kind of follow along. And here we go. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Dorothy. Dorothy was from Kansas and loved her family, and she sure loved rainbows. Well, one day she got so busy chasing after rainbows that she did not see the tornado, and so she couldn't make it home on time, and the tornado swept her away into a magical land where it's very colorful and hilly and nothing like Kansas at all. And there were all these little people. But what they noticed is that she now had red, amazing shoes. Well, this made a certain witch jealous, and this witch threatened her life if she didn't give her back those shoes, because she thought they surely belonged to her. Well, little people all ran away, but soon to Dorothy's rescue came Glinda the Good Witch. Well, Glinda, after not only scaring away the Wicked Witch, but she also asked, Dorothy, how can I help you? And Dorothy just really wanted to get back to Kansas and all those cool rainbows and probably the royals. But she could not help her. And so Glinda said, you know what? You need to travel the Yellow Brick Road to go to Oz and talk to the wonderful Wizard of Oz. So Dorothy set off on her way, and as she traveled, she met a scarecrow who thought too little of himself. In fact, he thought he didn't have enough smarts to make it, so he also wanted to go to visit the wizard. So together they set off, and then they met the Tin Man. And the Tin Man, he didn't feel like he had enough heart. And so they said, well, why don't you join us? We're going to the wizard. So he joined them as well. Then soon they ran across another person, the Cowardly Lion, who just didn't feel like he was courageous. So they said, I bet the Wizard of Oz can solve all of our problems. And so they set off to Oz to find the wizard. Soon enough, they reached the Emerald City, where Oz, the great and powerful Wizard of Oz, was. And they entered his chamber, and sure enough, there he was in all of his majesty. Rah! But he wasn't so kind. In fact, he could not help them with anything until he was brought the witch's broom. Well, they didn't know what to do, but they searched and they went to the castle, the witch's castle. And this really frightened them, as you can see. We're so frightened. But then eventually they ran across the witch, and Dorothy and the witch had some terrible words to say, and the witch picked on the looks of her friends, and as soon as Dorothy heard this, she grabbed a bucket and threw ice water on her, and then the witch was melting, until she melted away, and then they took the broom and they headed back to the great and powerful Oz. And wow, he was so impressed. Man. So he did end up helping the Tin Man. He gave him a heart that he so badly desired. But he said, you've had it all along. All you need is a symbol. And then he asked the Cowardly Lion what he needed, and the Cowardly Lion, he gave a medal for bravery, telling him that he had all the bravery he needed. The Scarecrow, he said, you are smart enough. Here's a diploma to show you that you are brilliant. And to Dorothy, he said, you know, you, this whole time, can have, all you've needed to do is click your heels together and think of home. And so Dorothy did, and she clicked her heels together. I think I can be home. I think I can be home. I think I can be home. And sure enough, back in Kansas, just in time to see the Royals win the World Series. Yay! Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. That was the end. And of course, your story is going to be a little bit different, but you can see this is an edited version, but hopefully you enjoyed. And don't forget to include your wonderful morals of the story. I included 4 here. You could really come up with more, but that each character learns to look inside themselves throughout this story and find the strength that they had to overcome whatever obstacles they found in their way. And it's always better to do things with friends. And then there's no place like home, Kansas, or Kansas City. And then the last, maybe ironic one, is that water can wash away any of your difficulties, especially troublesome witch problems. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck on your project.